for any woman that is, alone, lonely, hoping that they can get a man or whatever the case may be, being a male-centered person or a pick me, you're always going to lose. You're never going to get the type of man that you think that you're going to get behaving in that way. And I really wish that women will understand that. And there are many different versions of being, and I really don't even like to use the word pick me because it's so overused now, but I don't really know. I guess male centered could be better, but same difference in my opinion. There are so many different, like, I guess I would say categories or subcategories of being a pick me. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. Number one, cash doll breakup. That was being a pick me gone wrong. AD from Love is Blind. I don't know if anybody knows her. She was the one that got rejected by the man on the altar. Beautiful, dark-skinned black woman. Fit, works out, attractive, clearly extremely submissive, which in my opinion, her submission borders on stupidity. It really is out and out stupidity. Now is about to marry another man that played in her face as well. Things with her won't end up well. It won't work out well at all either. Even though I see so many black women romanticizing her situation because she's pregnant, I promise you that man is going to take her up and through there. Period. Now she seems to really be locked in, so he's probably the type of man that's gonna have to leave her or do her super dirty before she decides to leave, especially now that she's about to bring a child in the world. But yeah. Number three, one of the things I really wanted to talk about was Dana Dane. Now, I thought that I had Dana Dane blocked. I really did. Maybe I have, and maybe this is a new page she's made. I'm not for sure, but I could have sworn I had Dana Dane blocked. She was sitting there talking about she was in favor of the male T-app, the T-app that men have started. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how much of a degenerate do you have to be as a woman to be supportive of men starting a T-app? Well, you know that men aren't starting a T-app because they're worried about their lives, or they're worried about women, graping them on a date, or they're worried about a woman seeking them out because they're a single father to touch on their children or something like that. Or they have a history of like violently beating on men. Like, that's not why they're doing it. These men have started the T-app to also, which is the reason why I think 2 of them have been shut down already, to show revenge porn, to expose intimate pictures of women, to share pictures of women and things that they like to do, to encourage other men to play them. You know what I'm saying? You being a woman and you being on the side of men starting a T-app is borderline. You would hold somebody's legs down during a Handmaid's Tale. Borderline, you would help assault a woman to get a man's attention. And I really do think that Dana Dane is a disgusting human being. A disgusting human being. And honestly, if you're a woman and you follow her because you say like, oh, she holds both sides accountable. No, she doesn't. That lady is a pick me all day long, and she is waiting for the man that will stomach and tolerate her. That's what she's waiting for. That's the reason why she holds lies with people. Like, I know back before I thought that I had her blocked, I saw her on a live with Moses and Cartel Samuels, 2 disgusting human beings. So that should let you know right there that lady has no care. She's just waiting for the day that one man will accept her. Anyway, I wanted to talk about that, Dana Dane. And then number 4, I wanted to talk about all of this male-centeredness, all of this pick-meism. All of it is connected. And at the end of the day, it is enabling men and it is destroying women. And also it's destroying the relations between men and women of all races. But if we want to talk about it from a black perspective, it's destroying black men. It really is. So, anywho, that's what I wanted to talk about today. You guys can let me know which of the topics you want to talk about specifically. But I think that it just seems like now it's glitching, y'all. Hold on. Let me see who's in here. I'll block some of the dudes. Hold on. Yeah, y'all gotta keep liking the live, you guys. Because it's probably some weird dude in here. And that's probably what it is. I'm gonna see about the comment settings because sometimes it blocks people's comments, but I actually don't want that because whoever comments something crazy, they're the ones that need to be blocked. So yeah, but I don't know where. Let's see. Um, let me see. I don't see the extra settings. Oh, there it is, right there. Comment settings. Allow. I'm gonna put don't filter comments because I would rather
Hey.
know who's saying something crazy. That way I can block them. Okay, so yeah, I just changed it to don't filter comments. Okay, so yeah. So I'm gonna go up here. I'm sorry, Chilotam. I'll go to Gabrielle first because I had her up, and then I'll go to you, Chilotam. Go ahead, Gabrielle.
Yeah, hey Trigger, good morning.
Hey.
I actually did see I think it was your YouTube video about Cash Doll, and I saw in the video, didn't you say that the guy she was with was like telling her don't like don't wear makeup, or you said he was being very controlling? Is that
Yeah, he had said that he doesn't like her to wear makeup and hair and weave.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that is a huge red flag, so I don't really follow her, so I don't. Were they together long? Like, I just remember you said in the video that like those are like red flags and like not something that should be accepted, which I totally agree with. I just don't know like how long they were together. Like, I only know about it because I saw your video, but
Oh yeah. They got together. They said in early 2025. So they didn't even make
oh,
it. They didn't even make it here.
okay, yeah, okay, but to the prompt, I mean, I definitely do think that that ties into male centeredness only because if a guy is like I'm trying to think of how to put it. So like, okay, here's a way to put it. Like, there's this quote online and it's like something about like, oh, men basically don't want to go after the women they say that they prefer, but they'll go after a woman who's the exact opposite and then try to quote unquote change her. There's like this quote by Trevor Noah about something like men like are a man wants to like basically cage a woman. I don't remember the quote exactly. You've probably seen it online somewhere, but that kind of what you're describing with cash down, like what you were saying in the video, kind of reminded me of that. I do think it is pick-meism to like if a guy is you're dating a guy and he's trying to change all these things about you. I do think that is a red flag because it's like if you as a guy want that, why are you not with a woman who doesn't like makeup or hair extensions or whatever? I mean, just go be with what you want to be with instead of getting with a woman who's not that. Like, to me, that is the guy trying to exert power and control, trying to boost his ego regardless of how he tries to justify it. And I think that it's very easy if you are male centered or very much into pick meism, you're not going to recognize that because the entire way you approach relationships is like not centered on like, is this guy compatible with me? But it's like, you're looking at it as like, what can I do to please him? And that is male centered. I don't know much about the ad from Love is Blind just because I don't watch Love is Blind. But I do know about the T app, even though I don't know about Dana Dane. I don't know who he or she is, but I will say I did see like on like Twitter and stuff that there were men coming up with like a male T app, and I do think that they are just trying to get back at women. Like the T app was created for women to actually warn other women about guys who are like predatory, and then a bunch of guys, from my understanding, they hacked the app or doxed the women on it. Like all of these women's identities were revealed, putting them in danger. So I mean, the fact that they're coming up with a male T app, it doesn't unfortunately it does not surprise me because like I've said in so many other lives, there is an uptick of misogyny, red pill culture online to the point where like there are schools in the UK literally trying to de-radicalize boys, that there are articles being written about how like nurses are being subjected to violence from more male patients. So it does not surprise me that there is, a male T app. And I think any woman who is defending it, like I said in so many other lives, I genuinely to myself feel like pick me women cannot be saved because they're even if you were a pick me years ago, like there's so much information in 2025 telling you where men are openly saying we don't want women to vote, we don't want women to have bank accounts, we don't want women to have any kind of agency or decisions. There are like open internet forums where men will get in these groups or go on TikTok and give each other tips on how to manipulate women, how to break women down. So all of these pick me's who are doing all of this, leg work for men, it's never going to be reciprocated. And the type of men that they are pandering to, they're not going to get any kind of guy who is, decent and, not misogynistic. And I do think number four is all connected, destroying women, enabling men. Yeah, it is like, I know I've said this in other lives, but there really is a concerted effort on multiple levels, sorry, to destroy women. I think I said this in your live like a couple of days ago, but there was a pastor who was interviewed by CNN who specifically said women are people who babies come from in a very derogatory way. There are two other pastors in that same CNN interview openly saying that women should not vote. They want the 19th Amendment to be repealed. They absolutely do want to destroy women and just make us like go back to the 1950s, and the U.S. Defense Secretary, who's in the current, White House administration, retweeted it, like endorsing it. So that speaks volumes. And to me, all of that is connected to the red pill manosphere. They all want to bring women down and empower men because so many of these males think that because they can't rule over women or be guaranteed a job or guaranteed all of the things that they think their grandfathers and fathers got, they're all taking out their anger on women. I think it's unfortunately only going to get worse. And I think that male centered women are really going to ultimately be their own undoing because they are surrounding themselves with males who do not fundamentally see women as people. I know my timer's running out, so I'll land there, but thank you.
All right, Gabrielle. All right, let me go over here to Chalotam. Go ahead, sis.
Hi Trick, hi Gabrielle, hi Supervillain, hi everyone. I haven't caught a live in a while. I was actually just watching the last live you posted on YouTube, and then I saw Supervillain sent me this one. So with regards to, I think Cash Doll is the one whose boyfriend said he doesn't like makeup, right? Was she the one?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I really wanted to talk about this one because I particularly cannot stand when men know that there's okay, you like a girl, you see something you like about her, but you try to impose your own preferences on her. Why don't you just go for what you want? And this really irritates me because I'll give you two examples, right? One that happened in my life and one that happened or still happens with my parents. My dad is he's a boomer, the whole nine yards, African man, very stuck in his ways, couldn't even like get to high school because Nigeria had a civil war at the time. So his family, like they all grew up poor, but he found his way out the mud and now he's really successful, trained all of us. He has six children. I'm the fifth. So he likes what you would call, a quote unquote, and I don't agree with this because I don't think that there's ever a time where Black women were allowed to be traditional. And when I say Black, I mean, I would say like African and Black women, like in America in general, right? I'm using those terms interchangeably. So he likes what you would call a traditional woman who would just like keep quiet, so everything he has to say and not challenge his opinions and all of that. And my mom is my mom is the opposite of that. My mom is in her 50s. I think she's like 54. She had a business before she got married to my dad, but then she closed down her business and they run the family business together now. And they've been doing this for over 20 years. So she has contributed a significant part of her life to it. She went to university, she studied business administration. She's really smart, knows what she wants. I'm very much like my mom. And my dad keeps saying, "Oh, your mom is too, she wants to, exert her power on a man." And I keep telling him that that's not, first of all, we don't live in the 1960s anymore. And second of all, this is a woman who has given up. I can't even, because I don't want to like tell all my family business on here, but she has given up so much to be with you and to build this family. So you can't expect a woman. First of all, why are you going for somebody who is not your type? If you want somebody who is quiet, because there's lots of women like that, in America, women have woken up, but back home, majority of women are still what you would call pick-me's. They think marriage is the end all be all. So why don't you go for women like that? Why do you go for the opposite of what you want and then try to change someone? It's very I don't need to say this, but it's very selfish, and that's one example. The second example is I think there was a time I left a comment on one of your YouTube videos, and I said that when I was 22, my parents tried to convince me to marry somebody. I think he was like 35 at the time, and then I was still back home in Nigeria. He lived in Canada, so they wanted me to marry him because, oh, he's rich, he has money. He's from our town, like he's from our village. His dad and my dad are close friends. They grew up together, the whole 9 yards. And I kept telling them, no, I can't. I'm 20, I'm 26 now. I still don't think I'm going to get married anytime soon. And so at 22, I wasn't thinking about marriage, but I was like, okay, let me hear this dude out. He was like 12 years older than me. I don't have an issue with that completely because, I have a lot of elder siblings and elder cousins. So I grew up around people who were, much significantly older than me. So when I was talking to him, and I usually make videos on YouTube and I post them just for fun, and he would tell me, "Oh, why are you posting videos on YouTube? Why are you showing your life on YouTube?" And it's just like, why are you talking to me? If you don't want a girl that does that, then don't talk to me. It's really I find it really, really irritating. And one thing I will never do, because my mom also advised me against it, I'll never kowtow to what a man wants. If you know what you want, then go and get what you want. Because sometimes I feel like it's like an ego trip. It's like a power trip for them. They want to get something that they know. Like you see a free bird and you just want to put it in a cage. Why not go for a woman who wants that? So I think women need to be, because a lot of us are socialized to see ourselves as, should I say, extensions of men. It's as if men are the default human beings and women are just like the assistants.
I'll give
And
you one
it's
more minute. Hello, Tam.
oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll wrap up now. It's almost as if, we are trained to just exist for these men and bow down to what they want. And I'm so sick of it. And I'm sorry for Cash Doll for her going through what she's going through, but at the same time, it's good. Please, like, just live your life and find somebody who actually likes what you're doing and who's going to support you. Thanks.
All right, all right, all right. I definitely agree with you, Chilotam, for sure. And I appreciate you for sharing. All right, let me go down here to Supervillain. And hey, good morning, Supervillain.
Craig, hey panel, those in the comments. You know what I'm gonna say. Get these like up. Let's get her to the like she deserves. I'm gonna try to speak on each topic. I don't know too much about number two. I would like to hear more about that. So when you get a chance, Trig. But Cash Doll's breakup, I didn't follow the story too well. I know there was this connection with her and Cardi B and somebody else like upgrading after leaving their last man. Um, I'm gonna say this as somebody who doesn't believe in community with men in the first place. I believe men are for DNA and labor purposes only. I'm not mad that Cash Doll broke up with the guy. Like, I'm not sure if this was the first or second red flag, but again, it does not make sense to continue to stay with men who don't serve a purpose to you. So if she only dated him 6 months and she saw the red flags and it only took 6 months to get there, I'm glad that she is detaching from him. That's the point. You don't have to invest in men. You don't have to invest your time in men when you already see the red flags. That's the point. You need to get out as soon as possible. So I'm just going to be honest. I'm glad that she's stepping away. Maybe there was a red flag, and instead of ignoring it or looking at it as an orange or yellow flag, she said, you know what? I'm not going to participate in behavior I complain about. I'm going to walk away because I see this red flag. So I'm not going to say like I'm happy, but I'm proud that if she was the one who walked away anyway, that she got out of that situation. Number two, I don't know too much about, so I'm going to skip. Number three, I also haven't listened to this content creator in a while. Last few, I guess, I'm not going to say altercations, but last few posts she made, I don't appreciate her viewpoint. I'm going to say this. It's very hard as a feminist because I want all women to feel or do what they want, even if it's not aligning with what I agree with. But I do believe a lot of her takes are harmful. I do believe that she's cosplaying. She does look for male validation. And once she receives that male that she's looking for, she's gonna go away. She's not even gonna be as active. She's just gonna be happy. Which, by the way, I'm all for women being happy, but not when you're spreading negative or harmful messages, especially to the young women. You know what I mean? A lot of us can recognize the grifter in her because we've experienced what we have experienced, and we know she's full of shit. I fear for the younger ones. A lot of the younger ones are wiser, but also there are young women who don't have that, I guess, woman connection anywhere in their life, and they can find it in harmful women like her. So I really can't stand her, and I wish she would go away. Not because we have a difference of opinion. It's just that I feel like her opinion is harmful to younger women. And that plays into the pickmeism, which goes into number four, how it's all connected. It is destroying women. It is enabling men. I don't know if you heard that story, Trick. I think it was about 3 weeks ago or a month ago, where these two Indian, I want to say Indian, Middle Eastern parents are being held on trial because they were supposed to arrange a wedding for their daughter, and she refused to go. So they tried to unalive her. It was unsuccessful, thank goodness. I just don't understand. It has to be a level of pick-meism for me to want to unalive my daughter because she does not want to get married to a stranger in a foreign land. She wants to continue her education. And this is pick-meism can drive a mother to do that. Because this woman was following behind her husband, which she probably is in a terrible marriage as well, and to want to impose that on your own daughter, knowing what the outcome is, knowing that your daughter's trying to get her education, again, that's the power of pick-meism. It does not let you, or maybe she does recognize, let me not say that. It makes you ignore the harm that can come to children and other fellow women just to please a man. I'm sorry, but when I read that article, it was so disturbing because my thing is, I understand if you were in another country, but you're in America now. Your daughter probably would have done so much better with your support backing her education than her getting married in any capacity. But again, pick-meism, patriarchy, it blinds a lot of women. Hopefully, some of them can be awoken, but we all not gonna make it, and that's the hardest lesson I learned on this app. Ayo.
All right. Supervillain, appreciate you. The AD from Love is Blind, AD was on Love is Blind. She ignored the red flags, which was really insane. She actually ignored the red flags with multiple men on there. But so male-centered, so desperate to have a man. The guy that she chose on there, Clay, left her at the altar, played in her face. Then she goes on to get with a guy that was on the UK Love is Blind, and right now I think they're on Perfect Match. This man is playing in her face. I'm flabbergasted because even though the show is currently going on, she's already announced that they're engaged and she's pregnant right now. So seeing him play in her face and all of this stuff, and how I saw so many black women romanticize her being able to get away from the first guy that played her on Love is Blind, then to turn around and get with, yes, Ali, and then get played with by him, is disturbing to me. But I really feel like some black women have got to unpack their desire to, because what she said on Love is Blind is, I don't understand why he doesn't want to be with me. All I want is a man to lead me. What do you need a man to lead you for? Huh? You got a job, you got a place to stay, you got a car, you're fit, you work out, you take care of yourself, you have a good life. What do you need a man to lead you for? And clearly you can't even choose a man that can, whatever, quote unquote, lead you down whatever path that you want. But all I'm saying is that, and I really, people think that I'm like being a hater when I say these things, but I'm never trying to come from a position of being a hater. I'm just coming from a position of hopefully other women can look at it, or young women can look at it and say, you know what? The move that she's making, let me not make those moves so that I don't end up in the position that she's going to be in. Mark my words, the relationship with Ali is not going to last either. It's not. Now, she seems like the type of person that will hang on to a man until he decides to leave. So it may take a while, but he definitely gonna play in her face, the Ali dude. And things are not gonna work out with him either, because he's already shown that he's on some BS. But anyway, beyond that, the Dana Dane situation, somebody said in the comments that she said that the man that she doesn't want her. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all, because the men that she's catering to, in my opinion, the type of men that she's catering to would never like a black woman of her archetype. And I don't even think that Dana Dane is an unattractive woman, but I think the type of man that she's looking for, that she puts out, by the rhetoric that she puts out, would think that she's not good enough, if that makes sense at all. So she's always going to be flapping in the wind, because the type of man that she's trying to get is not going to be attracted to her. She sends out dog whistles to men that hate black women and think less of black women, which is the reason why, like I said earlier, she didn't had Moses on there on her lives, and Cartel Samuels, men that are clear dirtbags. You know what I'm saying? I just find her to be very, very off-putting, very opinionated for no reason. And I feel like I said, all of her opinionation, or I don't know if that's a word, all of her being opinionated is rooted in hoping that she can get some attention from a man. And that to me is so desperate and so lame, because you sit there in your room all day, every day, trying to get the attention of men, and you still don't have one. Do you know how pathetic it is for you to actually get on your hands and knees and basically pant and bark like a dog to hope that a man will pay you some type of attention, and you still can't get the man that you want to get, when men are so easy? Like, that's embarrassing. That's the same way that that lady that I've got into it with on here, what's her name? The Real Jane. Always at other women, always begging other men, and just getting on her hands and knees, talking about how much she really, 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 really want a man so bad, and be willing, and can't get not a one man to do anything for her or pay attention to her. That's just ridiculously embarrassing. But yeah, a proud black woman. Hey, how you doing, sis? Yes, I hate the fact that she got pregnant as well. And the thing about it is that I don't dislike AD. I think that AD is a cool woman. She has a good vibe to her. I think she's very attractive, but I also think that she's very stupid, and I think that she's very male centered, and I think that Ali about to take her through there now that she got this baby. For real. But that's just my opinion. But like I said, I will wait and see. But we'll see. The fact that that man sat there and gaslit her, I haven't even watched Perfect Match. I just watched the clips. The fact that he was upset at her for laughing at another man's joke, but he was up there kissing another woman, that should let you know everything right there about his mentality. And the fact that he's probably one of the men that believes that he could cheat on you. But if you cheat, or you was even talking to another man, you just deserve to be hung in the square in front of everybody. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me go down here to Ricky. Go ahead, Ricky. If you're there, hopefully if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, let me send you a request to turn your mic on. Ricky, the music actor.
Yeah, that's me. Hey, how you doing today?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Good to finally get alive. But look, I just had I don't know too many things about the prompts. I mean, you just explained some of the things, and I appreciate that. But I just the pick me nation of women. I what I'm about to say is somewhat. I say it somewhat facetiously, but I genuinely mean it as well. And that is that I am so thankful that my mother was a pygmy. She was the epitome of a pygmy. But because of that, I was then able to see and be aware of exactly what I didn't want to be, if that makes sense. When I was about 20, I moved back home, and she actually, her boyfriend, her deadbeat boyfriend, who is the father of my baby brother, put hands on me, like literally like a knockdown, drag out fight. And even though he wasn't paying no bills, doesn't take care of his son, doesn't even claim his son, she picked him over her own daughter. Like, she literally had the cops come and like take me out of the house because that's how much of a pick me she is. And so I am thankful that I was able to like have that kind of surrounding in a sense, because like I said, it allowed me to understand like how just messed up that kind of mindset is to for and that's sort of my big question is like, why, what is it about certain women like that? Like, what is it that draws them to constantly want the validation of men? And it's not that you can't love a man, it's not that you can't have a relationship and be in a loving relationship, but why is it you accept the most just, I don't know, just dog-like behavior from these men? Like, I truly don't understand it. I used to, I was married, I've been divorced for 10 years now, but when I was trying to get back into like figuring out stuff about myself, I found this person who I'm sure you've heard of. Her name is Melanie King, and I didn't know anything about her when I first discovered her. Yeah, exactly. She's super goofy. And but like, it wasn't until I can't remember another woman I was listening to, but I started listening to her instead, and I started thinking about the stuff Melanie King was saying. I was like, wait a second, she's a straight pick me. Like, everything she talks about is like, you should do this for the man, and you should do this. Like, women, we are literally the portals to this world. Like, this is literally like, we are the foundation. Like, nobody gets here
Ricky.
without us.
Ricky,
Yeah.
did you ever see the Melanie King podcast where she was on there with these men and then there was a whole bunch of women there, and she said that she got the best smelling vagina, and any of the ladies don't clean themselves, and she could take her panties off right now, and they all could go in the bathroom and take their panties off and have the men smell them, because she said, oh, I'm so clean, and none of these other women know how to clean their vaginas, but she do, and she could take off their panties and let them smell it. Yeah, she's crazy.
That is why I know I didn't see that, but I'm not even surprised. Like, I would completely believe she would do something like that. Like, that's so goofy behavior. Like, but what is it, Trigger? Like, what do you think it is? Like, truly, like, yeah. And I'm about to say something controversial here right now, but I think a lot of it, and you know, I hate to throw women under the bus like this, but I think a lot of it has to do with like the boy mom epidemic as well, and that doesn't mean women who have sons. I'm talking about boy moms, and I think we all understand like the difference. And so I think that a part of it is, you know, these women who already have these sort of inherent pick me isms within them. They raise these sons, and so it's like it perpetuates, you know, like it keeps going on and on. But anyway, that's all I really have to say. I'm sorry I'm not sticking on topic with the templates, but it's just frustrating, like, for women to not understand like how powerful we are. We are literally the portals to get to this planet. Nobody can get here without us. I don't understand why it seems like so many women just feel like they want to give away their power, you know, to these dusties. Anyway, that's all I had to say. Thank you.
All right. No problem, Ricky. I appreciate you. And it was still on topic. I think, hey, good morning, proud black woman. I think she said she wanted to respond to you. Go ahead, proud black woman.
Hey, good morning, Trigger. Good morning, everybody on the panel. Man, Ricky, you're amazing, because you you are literally asking the $1 million question, right? And me, you know, my mom was never a pick me. I didn't grow up with male-centered women, thankfully, so that's probably why I've never been male-centered. But just from what I have observed, we have to look at how Black girls are growing up. That's how it starts off, right? Little Black girls are not growing up taught to love ourselves. Most of us had to learn to love ourselves on our own. Does that make sense? So it's kind of like we've never been taught as collectively as Black girls to put ourselves first, to have high self-esteem, because we have a lot of Black girls. We have a lot of Black women who went through a lot of trauma when they were Black girls, touched inappropriately, abused at early ages. So I think that has a lot to do with it. So when Black women grow up and they get into these relationships with men, they feel like they have to do the most, because that's the only way I'm gonna get love. That's the only way I'm gonna be appreciated. I think that has a lot to do with it. Just me talking to Black women throughout my life, I had no idea how many Black women were abused as children, honestly, until I came to TikTok. Because, I never experienced that. But I also feel like for some reason, and y'all have heard me say this, I feel like the Black church has a lot to do with that too, because if you look at the Black Baptist church as a collective, right, they're always telling Black women to stay. They're always, and girl, you can go in there with your husband. Your husband sent you to church with a black eye. Your husband been abusing you for 12 years. And the preacher and everybody else in that church will tell, well, just stick it out. Just stick it out, baby. So Black women are told to stay in these abusive relationships. And that's one of the reasons why I tell Black women, make sure you have your own relationship with God. Like, I don't go to church anymore, y'all. I have my own relationship with God. I'm not finna get involved. And that's not to knock anybody who does. I'm saying for me, I know how dangerous that rhetoric can be. And I know that the Black Baptist Church has done a lot of work on Black women, and it has not been good for us. Black women have consistently been told to stay in places where we should have left years ago. So that's where the pick me comes in at, because Black women internalize that. And it's like, well, in order for me to, stay with this man and get him to love me, I just got to stick it out. Not even understanding that the more you stay with an abusive man, honey, the more he's going to abuse you. We have to get out of that sticking around, staying around. The best, and Triggered, you've heard me say this many times, the best message that you can send to a man or anybody is your damn back. That's the greatest message that you can send somebody, is being able to walk away from them, showing them that you can no longer abuse me. If you can't treat me right, or if you can't respect me, then it's time for me to leave. And that's the problem with a lot of Black women. They don't have the courage to, because a lot of them have, their self-esteem has been so just down in the dumps for the things that they've experienced, not just in relationships with Black men, but also with our Black male family members. You see what I'm saying? A lot of us have been abused by Black men in our family. So it's kind of been rooted in us to just stick there, just stick it out. And what we're learning is that does not work. We got to stop sticking it out and learn how to walk away. So hopefully that makes sense, Ricky. Thank you, guys.
All right, no problem. Proud. Definitely agree with you. I just wanted to say real quick, because somebody asked about Dana Dane. Dana Dane, I saw her. I thought that I had this lady blocked, but I saw her on TikTok yesterday talking about she was happy about the male T app, and how, like, if you're a woman that's had a lot of sex, which is so immature to. Anyway, she says, oh yes, if you've been out there, if you've been sleeping with men, they're gonna expose you. But if you haven't been having sex like that, then you don't have to worry about it. Which is insane, because they already said that men were showing intimate pictures of women, showing revenge porn on there, giving advice on other men how to manipulate women and all this stuff. And you could be a woman that only had intercourse with one man or two men or three men, and the same thing happened to you, which she's so stupid and goofy. Like, and then we have to understand that the men started the T app because they were mad at women, mad that women were trying to find out what type of men were bogus so that they could avoid those men. The men are not starting a T-app, like I said earlier, to avoid women preying on single fathers, finding out they're a single father so that they can go touch on their kids. Or women finding out women that are going to violently beat on them or grape them or do something like that or unalive them. That's not the reason why men started the T-app. Men are starting the T-app because, number one, they're mad, they're haters. They always got to run behind women and copy. And then number two, it's because they always are starting it from the lens of preying on women and how to be able to take advantage of women. She's just so like, I promise, like, I don't, I very rarely like dislike people so much and I don't know them like personally, but I just feel like she really needs 5 fingers to the face, like honestly. But Gabrielle wanted to say something real quick. I'm gonna give her 2 minutes and then I'll go down here to you, patriarchy princess.
Yeah, thank you. I definitely agree with what Proud Black Woman was saying about the Baptist Church, and I can speak from this from experience a little bit only because my grandfather was like a Baptist preacher, and like I mean he passed away when I was like 5, so I didn't really get to know him. But like my aunt, who is my grandfather's daughter, like as I've gotten older, she's told me some stuff about the way he was and like the way that like when he was a pastor, apparently there are like women in the church who were like trying to like get at him or get with him or whatever, and they were like I guess jealous of my grandmother, and my grandmother didn't want him to take that job, and it was and just the way that she described the dynamics of like how people in the church treated her with her being the pastor's daughter at the time, and then treated my grandmother because they I guess want her spot or whatever. It did feel very much male centered, and my aunt told me that like despite like my grandmother didn't even want my grandfather to be the job as the pastor, but it was like his dream to like be the pastor, and he was totally fine with being the pastor of that church or whatever. So I really do think Proud Black Woman made a great point about the Baptist church and how it promotes male centeredness. And I mean, obviously people can have their religion, believe whatever they want to believe. I mean, I personally am agnostic, so I'm not really religious, but I do think the church is an aspect of it. And I do think someone in the comments said the church turns a blind to women and children being abused. I do agree with that because there have been so many cases of churches showing all of this grace to, males who are objectively abusive and like are, PDF files and had done all these atrocious things. But like if a woman like is like on, contraception or, like if an underage girl is like, preyed upon by like an adult male, they will not have a fraction of the grace. So I know my time is running out, but I just did want to say that because what Proud Black Woman said, I think that really resonated with me about the church.
All right. Gabrielle, appreciate you. You know what I did want to say also to just respond to that quickly. I agree. I think that like you got the Black Baptists and Pentecostals and all of that, and then you have also the white tea Christian nationalists and all that preach the same rhetoric about basically women just shutting up and just being receptacles for men's semen and cooking and cleaning, and that's it. I think that I now me everybody knows that I'm like a believer or whatever. So I do believe that there are men, and there are a lot of men and misguided women that go along with it, that join Christianity and also join Islam and other religious groups and factions for the strict purpose of preying on women and preying on children. And I think that it's not a small amount of people that do it. And I think that because of that goes on, the all religious institutions get a bad name, and I understand why, because there are not enough people to stand up against it or stand for it. And just like Proud Black Woman was saying, she don't go to church. I don't really either. I do believe in God. I do believe in Christ, but I don't really either because of those things that I've seen myself with my own eyes. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't eventually maybe one day attend somewhere, but I don't know. Maybe not, just because of the things that I've seen myself and men trying to take advantage of women. And I've seen it a lot in my life as well. And even in people that I don't know, like stories and things like that, where they've done like exposés on certain churches and certain groups and things like that. which I find to be disgusting. Even when, because I was raised in a cult, like growing up. So I was in a cult all the way from birth up until about 27. So from birth to about 27, I was in a cult. And it was basically built on all of the things that y'all are saying. I never let it destroy my faith in God, just because I can't speak for anyone else, but I know from the things that have happened in my life that God is real. He's delivered me and helped me out of countless situations where I shouldn't even be on the face of the planet anymore. I should be 6 feet under. But I'm just saying, I do agree with what y'all saying, and I do see it. I just want to say though that I do believe that there are some people that are religious people that are very, very genuine, that are really in it for the right reasons, but they are overshadowed by the people that only are connected to it because they want to take advantage of people. But I mean, if anybody knows anything about anything, that's exactly what's supposed to happen. There's supposed to be people that there's going to be the majority of people that are going to, that's why it says broad and spacious is the way of destruction, because it's going to be way more people that are going to be exactly like what y'all saying than the people that are genuine, that are really trying to do the right thing. It's going to be way more people that aren't. So you're supposed to look at it that way. But I was just trying to give like a little bit, I guess, of a perspective on there. But and once again, I'm not trying to change nobody's mind. Believe what you want to believe and then think how you want. Everybody is their right to do that. I was just trying to give just a little bit of clarity, because sometimes if I say that I'm like, I believe in God and Christ or whatever, I feel like people think that I'm like stupid or something. I'm not stupid. I see what y'all see. I just don't believe it's everybody, if that makes sense. But I think Proud Black Woman says she has something to say. I'll give you 2 minutes to Proud Black Woman, and then I got to get down there to patriarchy. Go ahead, sis.
Okay, yeah, you and I are the same. I think we're both a clone of each other because like I said, I believe in God. God is my best friend. I talk to him. I just don't go to church anymore because, and here's another reason why. Just real quick, I wanted to say this. For those of you on here, y'all know I only listen to Tony Gaskins, a black man, because who's married. You see his family, and he talks a lot about why black men behave the way they behave. And he said something that I thought was interesting. He said the reason why a lot of black men go into ministry, y'all, is because it's a quick way to get power. Also, because they know the mindset of black women. They know that black women are going to give them money. Because if you look at the Black Baptist church, you walk into any Black Baptist church, who gonna be in them pews? Black women and their children. It's nothing but single black women in there. Think about that. So he was saying how it's easy to get money because the congregation is full of black women. And in any time a black man speaks about God, anytime, it don't matter what that black man look like. It don't matter how overweight he is. It don't matter if he been to jail 50 million times. Once a black man starts talking about God, he got you. And what Tony Gaskins was saying is black women need to be smarter. Like, y'all know that God would not want you to stay in abusive relationships. So why would you listen to a black preacher just telling you to stay there? We have to start using discernment. So he was saying that's an easy way for black men to get paid without having an education. That's an easy way for black men to have power by becoming a preacher. I want y'all to just really think about that. And when I thought about that, I was like, wow, he's right. Like, it's all it is a quick access to power for black men. And then, the people in the pews are, black women raising their children because they were left by their husbands or they're in abusive relationships. But black women are always more giving than black men. So that's how they're able to sustain, because they're sustaining off of the money that black women give them. That's why I say you'll catch me dead before you catch me in another church, but I'll land there.
You know what, Proud, like you are so correct on what you're saying, that's the easiest way to gain power. It's also the easiest way, if you don't have anybody that have access to a top tier black woman, is to appeal to her faith. You know what I'm saying? To appeal to her belief system in God, because still most black women believe in God or believe in a creator on some level. And I think that's an easy way. I remember being like maybe about 19, 20 in the cult that I was in. This man that was homeless came in, right? He came in, he was eating out the trash, okay? They cleaned up that man and was like, yeah, he's a viable brother now for you ladies. There was women going crazy, okay? Fighting over this man, because now they thought that he was this godly man, even though this man was previously homeless, eating out the trash. And I'm not trying to, look down on nobody that ate out the garbage, but all I'm saying is that if you just got, sorry, let me not laugh because I don't want y'all to think I'm laughing at people that are homeless. I'm just saying that if you just got out, if you a black man and you just got out there eating out the garbage can, you're not finna just be in my bed like you are. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. That's just not gonna happen. Because what's the reason why? Because like I already said that like black men that are homeless, I always question it anyway because black men are coddled. They normally have a baby mama they can go to, a granny, a mother, a sister, a niece, an aunt, somebody that would enable them. So if you are completely homeless as a black man, with the caveat that you weren't in foster care or something like that, I feel like you're already a horrible person because you've alienated all the black women in your life that will coddle you and accept you and help you. And even then, where's the women at? You know how black men lie to women, homosexuals, to get in their house and stuff like that. Why you don't have any woman at all that you can, not saying you should, but I'm just saying that the reality speaking is that black women do that. So it's just like, why don't you have anybody you can lean on? But anyway, all I'm saying is you're totally right because them women was going crazy and he did get married too. I remember because I was like 19 or 20 and I was thinking it was gross. I was like, ew, like he's ugly and he's been eating out of the trash. And why are these women wanting him? And he was married and like, he came in to our congregation and he was married in like 2 months or so. It was real quick. And that lady was just sitting there with him, just as proud, like she just won a prize. And I was just thinking, ew. And I remember overhearing my parents talk about it. And my parents were like, they were disgusted too. Anyway, let me just keep going. Go ahead, patriarchy. You there, sis? Let me send you a request to turn your mic on.
Hello,
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Oh my God, that was a good story. You had me laughing. That's crazy. That's wild. It's gotten that bad because I've shut down. In 2015 is when I said nope, something's not right. Let me shut this down. So it didn't got that bad. That's crazy. But anyway, let me Uh, male center women will always lose. That's a fact. Cash Doll breakup. I knew it was coming. Cash Doll from Detroit. I'm from Detroit. And when we in our moods, we'll play with them, but no, we're not keeping them around long. AD, I ain't know she got pregnant. I ain't know like all of the AD. She is making bad decisions. Just bad. Just bad. I can't even. No, that's not how you do reality TV. That's all wrong. Every step she made. Dana Dane, thank you for explaining that. She's definitely a pygmy and she's definitely dangerous if she's promoting the male version, because I heard the male version was they were doxing women. So that's crazy. She putting women in danger. That's a pygmy. Leave her alone. Can we block her or something? Let's do something. It's all connecting and destroying women, enabling men. Yeah, because it's patriarchy. It's a program, it's a system. A good one, actually. Like they did good. So that's it. I ran.
All right. I appreciate you, patriarchy. All right, let me go down here to looks like your accountability bear.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you go ahead.
Trig, may I go after him? I had something I want to piggyback.
Absolutely, super villain.
If you're a male-centered woman, you only fail if you choose the wrong male. Your decisions reflect what you get. And I think at some point in time, women got to realize you are who you attract. So, like, if you keep attracting this type of man, then it might be time to, like, look in the mirror at what you are doing yourself to continue to accept or attract this type of, like, You can't all keep getting bamboozled and then blaming the man for it. Oh no, it was his fault. I got bamboozled. Time out
Accountability
50.
Bear.
Nigga, shut up.
Accountability Bear. Just a second, you guys. Can you tell me how long you've been married, Accountability Bear?
I have been coming up on my 2nd year of marriage.
Okay. Okay, you can continue.
Cash Star breakup. Stop following stars' lives. That's their lives. That's rich people's
Okay, I'm
problems.
gonna go ahead and interject right there. We don't need you to talk about what people need to stop doing. This is a woman's space. You not nobody's daddy. So you
But
can
doesn't
give your
help.
opinion, but nobody needs to hear what you think we should be doing, okay? Because you
I'm
only been married to 2 years by somebody that you bamboozled. I've been married for 15, and it'll be
I didn't
16 this
bamboozle
year.
that lady. We like
Okay.
each other.
Who you talking to? Because I know you're not talking to me. Because I know
You said I
you a
bamboozled
grown
my
man.
wife.
You're a grown man with a bear as your profile photo, talking about accountability bear. Do you
You
know
said
how
I
possibly
bamboozled my
lame you
wife.
have to be to make that your persona? So yes, you bamboozled that lady. So
Y'all
whoever
chose
that
the
lady
bear.
is that chose to sit there and open her legs to you in the middle of the night, she definitely has been bamboozled. If not outright kidnapped. One of the two. But like
Y'all
I
chose
said,
the
don't
bear.
nobody needs to hear you talk about what women need to do and what women need to start looking at. Your wife is a perfect example of somebody that made a piss poor decision and who they
She's
chose,
happy.
because I can't imagine, you don't know how happy she is, because I can guarantee you,
Tells me
if
she's
my
happy. What are
husband,
we talking about?
don't unmute yourself before I drop you. I will tell you what, it would only be in my nightmares to marry a grown ass black man that would have a bear as his profile picture in a space with a whole bunch of ladies trying to kiki like he has a pussy. Sir, you don't have one. And you need to do better with yourself. Why are you not somewhere telling black men, who are the least employed race of men in the United States, how to get a job? Why are you not somewhere telling black men, who are the least married, to say, hey, why don't y'all marry women? How come y'all are making all of these women of any race baby mamas? Why
This is
are
the
you here
choices they
talking
have to
to black
choose
women?
from. Why would
No,
they
why
want to
don't,
do that?
no. Look at who you have to choose from. Look at yourself. You don't even love yourself. You got a picture of a bear up there. You got to do better for yourself before you can talk to somebody else. And I think that's the problem with a lot of y'all black men, is that y'all are unaware of what y'all see in the mirror. Y'all are unaware that y'all have no power in society, no money, no education, no root in any type of respect of family or relationships or women or the women that y'all come from. The only reason why you are even able to sit here on this live and say goofy is because a woman decided to go ahead and birth you and not go to the chop shop. Now, in my opinion, that's probably where she should have went, but she didn't. So here we are. But I just want to let you know something. Nobody cares about your opinion. Nobody cares what you got to say. Nobody cares about your thoughts at all. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And I think that's the thing, is that y'all think a lot of people care about y'all, and they don't. They don't. And that's why y'all disgust me, because anytime y'all have a chance to like represent yourself as something positive, as something better than being just a miserable, broken, beta, bottom feeding bitch, like that's what y'all do. Anytime y'all always show that instead of showing something else. Instead of coming up here and representing yourself as a caring black man that's married to I don't know, a blow up doll named Keisha, you decided to come up here and be ignorant. And that y'all are the ones, y'all think y'all have so much advice for women, but y'all really, what y'all do is push forward the separation and the chasm that is deepening between the disconnect between black women and black men every day, because y'all never have it. Whenever y'all have an opportunity to prove yourselves to be these so-called better men, y'all always fail and y'all always flop. And that's what I was saying. That's why my husband don't come on here too much no more, because he was telling me, like, he was like, when I come up here and I talk to these dudes, it's just so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. They make me feel embarrassed because every time I come up there, it's nothing but fools up there. And I don't want people to think that I'm a fool. And that's the reality of the majority of y'all right there. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm gonna go to supervillain. Go ahead, supervillain.
Yeah. So just even sidebar, it's always the choices we make, but they never speak about the actual options. I mean, you can never choose bad if your options are always good, but of course they'll always ignore that part. I just wanted to take it back to um what Proud Black Woman said earlier, awesome, about how as Black girls specifically, when we're younger, we're not like, self confidence is not instilled in us. And I know it's a little bit off the topic, but I just thought that was so important, especially as women who are encountered with younger women and little girls today. I think a huge, huge solution to this problem is, especially because we're talking about pick-meism, stop making male validation important. And we have to do it in these little girls' younger years. We need to tell little girls, little Black girls, that they're pretty. And when we say it, it's coming from a pretty, like a doll like thing, not pretty like these degenerates thinking of looking at little girls as desirability, right? We need to be the ones to install and build up their confidence, not these men. That's a huge part of why we as women are looking for validation from men, because it doesn't mean anything when mommy says I'm pretty. It doesn't mean anything when auntie says I'm pretty. We need to change that culture. We need to change that behavior. We have to stop making what males think about uh, women, period, so important. And that's not to the women who still want that community with men. It's outside of relationships with men. It's about instilling a very, very solid foundation for our girls coming up, so when they come up, they don't have to do pick me behavior, because they're not seeking validation from men. They know that they can go to Triggs Live and get that validation. They can go to T's Live. They can go to Proud Black Women's Live and get that validation. They can go to their auntie, their cousin, right? They don't have to seek a male to feel better or to feel like they are worth anything. And again, we have to start teaching our girls that they're beautiful. Everything about them is beautiful. And we have to start making a safe space for them to explore their femininity. I do that with my daughter, and you'd be surprised how angry it makes people around her. I mean, she's 16 now, but from 12, I let her, do different things with her hair. The cute little press-ons, nothing crazy. When she wants to wear mommy's heels sometimes, like, we don't get to experience that, because even if we got a red nail polish, they're calling us fast, right? We get a gelled up ponytail. Well, who we trying to impress? What man we trying to get? We're a kid. We're exploring what it is to look nice. But Black girls don't get that safety. We have to start creating that safe space. I also wanted to say, we have to also remember that we all still have that little girl that's unhealed somewhere. And this is one thing I always like to implore my fellow Black women, because I love you. Do the homework. Think about the safest you ever felt in your childhood. Maybe it was an ice cream parlor that you used to go to with your parents. Maybe it was a TV show. For me, it was Cheetah Girls. I was always obsessed with Cheetah Girls. So as an adult, my room looks like Cheetah Girl Nation. It is so tacky. I have all different types of leopard print, cheetah print, jaguar print. I even throw in zebra print every once in a while, because it makes me feel happy. It heals that inner child in me, right? There are things that we need to do where we have to mother ourselves, because let's just be honest. I love Black women, and a lot of our mothers did their best, but we can also admit that their best wasn't enough in some instances. So we have to pick up the slack. Mother that little girl in you. Find the safest time in your life that you remember and build on that. So I just want to throw that out there, because I'm going to always throw in some type of advice, because y'all know I love Black women. I'm going to yield there.
All right. I appreciate you, super villain. I just wanted y'all to see right here. I went to Accountability Bear's page while you guys were speaking, and this is Accountability Bear. Okay. This is a grown Black man sitting outside in front of his house in a lawn chair with a teddy bear head on. And he got on a teddy bear head with Tim's on. Do you know how mentally disturbed you got to be to feel comfortable to sit out in your front yard and it looks like it's warm outside with a teddy bear head on your head, on top of your head, and some Tim's on? Like, this is serial killer activity. Like, this is serial unaliver activity right here. Like, I just want y'all to know, these are the type of men that be getting it alive. I don't know, when now look, I'll be honest with y'all. I'll be transparent. When I said that his wife was probably kidnapped and stuff like that, or whatever, bamboozled, I was just trying to be insulting. But now I actually believe it may be true. Now I believe it may be true because what black men you know trying to be outside in a lawn chair in their front with some Timbs on and a teddy bear head? Like what? This is actually scary to me. Black men are out here losing their ever loving minds, like losing it. Like seriously, cuckoo. What is it? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. What? Y'all see this? This is crazy. And then not to mention he got all of these other things reposted on his page or whatever. You know how they do when they try to repost things and talk about women all day long. But this man is really on some other like this is actually terrifying to me. Okay? Terrifying. And y'all can go look on his page. He got several videos like this. This is scary work. Like this is scary. Then he got one clip where he say he on his way to go annoy his wife. Yeah, annoy your wife how, sir? You know what I'm saying? Are you gonna just bother her as she's chained up to the radiator or whatever platform you got her chained to in there? Okay. Anyway, let me stop playing. But I'm serious. I do find this to be completely scary though. All right, so let me start at the top again. I'll go to Gabrielle, then Chilotam, then Proud, and then Patriarchy, and then back to Supervillain. Go ahead, Gabrielle, if you have something to say, sis. I'll give everybody 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say when I saw that guy's profile picture of the bear, like even when I just saw him, he was in the box before he even started speaking, like I just had a feeling that he was gonna say exactly what he said. I mean, I do think that bear profile picture is just insane. And then the things that he was saying about like, oh, well, it's up to women and like you are what you attract. Why is that same ideology never applied to males? Like when males talk about like, oh, my wife won't or my ex won't let me see my kids, which is like not even true half the time, or they'll say stuff like, oh, the court systems favor women, when in actuality a lot of times males don't even try to, you know, fight for custody of their kids. Like why is that never applied? Like if he really believed that, then he would be telling other men that, but yet he's in this live and he's telling women that. And but like I said, as soon as I saw the bear profile picture, I just already knew from there. But yeah, I'll land for now.
Okay, I got you. And you know what I think is crazy is that when you see these ashy bandits online talking about, oh my goodness, I'm so mad at my baby mama. I gotta pay $20 a week in child support. She taking all my money. I'm paying $20. It's a total of $80 a month. I can't take it. Oh my gosh. They never tell these men, hey, you should have chose better player. You should have chose a woman that you would have wanted to be with, you want to live with, so you wanted to marry, that way you wouldn't be on child support. You never ever hear that. When they talk about all of these horrible black women, mean, evil, nasty black women that are so masculine and aggressive and money hungry and this, that, and the third that they keep running into, you never hear them say, hey, yeah, you should have chose better. Why you keep choosing these money hungry women? Maybe you wouldn't get these money hungry women if you didn't leave with your wallet, because you know that you don't have nothing else to offer that woman. Because you know your pants is empty, that you got a shrimpy, and you know your stamina is on 0.000, and your face is even uglier than that. So you don't have anything to offer but the money. So they never tell each other that. Like they never do. They never say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Do better as men. You never hear it. And that's what makes me sick about the thing, is they got all of this smoke for women, but then they want to, it's like, I feel like black men want to be the leaders without any responsibilities that come with being a leader. They just want to be a leader in name and image only. That's it. They want to say they're the leaders, but if anything go wrong, they want to defer to you. If any issues happen and people are being critical of it, they want to defer to the black woman. They want to do everything's the black woman's fault, but they still want to put forth this image that they're the leaders and they're the kings, and it doesn't make any sense. If you're the leader and you're in charge, when things go left, you're the one that's responsible for it all. It's the same way that, like, I remember when I was like 18 and 19, I did data entry because I can type really, really fast. I can type 100 words a minute. So I did data entry when I first started working, right? When other people were slacking doing the data entry, entering in the medical claims that I was doing, you know who got in trouble? The head of everybody, of the whole claims department. Even though they wasn't out there doing the typing, they wasn't out there doing the processing of the claims, they're the ones that took the flack and got in trouble. That's what that from black men. They want to tell you what to do. They want you to submit. But if anything go wrong, it's all on you. And that doesn't make any freaking sense at all. It's completely nonsensical and illogical. And that's actually the reason why I don't respect the collective of black men as it is. And also, they don't want to take any responsibility for any of the mistakes that they make. They want to blame it on their mama. They want to blame it on their baby mama. But if something happened to a black woman or she make a misstep or a bad mistake, it's all on her. It's all on her. There's no way she can escape from this accountability. Look at this man that was just up here calling himself accountability bear. I can guarantee you the accountability that he wants to be had only applies to black women. I can guarantee you it don't apply to men. But okay, let me go over here. Chilotam, I'll give you 3 minutes, sis. Go ahead, Chilotam.
Yeah, thank you. I really hate it when men spill the talking point of, oh, you should have chosen better. Mind you, it's all of you out here wearing masks. We don't know who anybody is. And the fact that you have a lot of women coming out to share similar experiences, shouldn't that tell your dumbass that something is, I'm sorry, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that on TikTok, but shouldn't that tell you that something is wrong with your demographic? Anyway, I wanted to direct the conversation back to the whole thing with the church and pastors and all that stuff, because there's something that recently just happened. This was last week or 2 weeks ago on Twitter, because I'm very active on there, and there's this pastor who apparently has a podcast and has all these things in his bio. He says that he's and bear with me, I'm getting somewhere. He says that he's a former porn addict. Oh shit, I'm sorry. He says he's a former porn addict. He says he was a former, candy addict, all that stuff. He has everything in his bio, the whole 9 yards. I'll type his handle in the chat once I'm done speaking. And he came out with a whole thread to tell women about how to react to when men, treat them badly in a marriage. So people went to dig some quote unquote dirt on him and saw that he was asking his wife for snacks 2 weeks postpartum. 2 weeks postpartum. And why I bring this up is that a lot of church girls kept trying to defend him and trying to say, oh no, he's a changed creation. Mind you, he quote unquote got saved in 2018. And between 2018 and now is what is that? I'm really bad with math. 6 years? I don't know. But that's not enough time for you to say that you're already a changed person, because if you're dealing with all those addictions, you need to get professional help. And so I hate the fact that people use religion to cover up these serious issues. If you're, for instance, suffering from a cancer, or you have a lot of water retention in your body, you're not going to the pastor to tell you to heal you. You're going to a doctor. So it's the same thing that happens if you're struggling with these other addictions. So I hate how the church just covers up so much um abuse towards women. Like I've seen this happen a lot of times, because back home people think of marriage like, okay, it's do or die. Even if your husband is putting his hands on you, just stay. That's the ups and downs of marriage, or that's the ups and downs of dealing with males. And I find it so absurd, because now there's an innocent woman. This man has done all these sexcapades known to man, right? And now he's married to an innocent woman who has to deal with having sex with you 2 weeks. Do you know what it means to have to do that 2 weeks postpartum? Because in most parts of Nigeria, right, we often say that when a woman gives
One more
birth,
minute, sis.
okay, when a woman gives birth, you're not supposed to, do that until after 6 months to a year, because your body needs to recover. So I hate how the churches, and this is why I've been so, I don't trust pastors anymore. I've been so tapped out of the whole thing. My relationship with God is just me and God. I talk to God like he's my best friend if I'm going through something. And even how I was raised, they would say, oh, God will punish you, God will do this. And it's just like, I don't want to live that kind of life in fear. I don't think that's how God wants us to live either. So I think the church is a place where people brainwash, especially women, brainwash women a lot. And I'm glad that people are, coming out of it, at least seeing things for what they are. Because to me, it's just a whole gimmick. It's a business. So that's it. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. I got you. I appreciate you, Chilotam. All right. Two more people came up. So I think I'll let them speak first and then I'll get to proud and then patriarchy. Go ahead, Kalandra.
How are
Hey.
you? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. So I was confused. Are you saying Cash Doll is male centered because Shadarius didn't like makeup and she stopped wearing makeup?
I guess I wouldn't know if I would put her in, just call her a pick me. I'll just say that I feel like the decision that she made was based on a male centered point of view. And I wish that she would have realized that it wasn't, because there was so many black women that underneath the first video that I made about them, where I said that her doing that and is a red flag, in that it's a sign of control, because when men get with you, they first get with you, they like to set the tone in the relationship and how it's going to go. And me personally, anytime I've been in relationships with men outside of my first marriage, I set the tone first. I let them know how it's going to be. And if you don't like it, you can go, but this is how it is. And this is how I do. And allowing a man to come in and tell you what you ain't going to do, and you ain't even known this Negro 6 months yet, is wild. And it's already letting him know that you a lick. And of course, he's going to move forward over and over again with trying to control you more further and further, because you already made him seem like it's okay. So I wouldn't necessarily call her pick me, but I do think that the women that supported it, that told me that I was tripping, they was pick me's for sure. Um,
Oh, okay. I definitely agree with you. I thought that was kind of weird when he started saying that and she started saying that too, because I never understood men who dated women who did a certain thing and then you have this big problem with it. Like, why don't you just date women who don't wear makeup instead of trying to change women who do? Oh, Dana Day. I don't like her. She's very male centered. Like, you hopping online defending men, talking about women like the way she did about that T app, girl. That's not it. And I definitely agree with you though. Male centered women, they definitely date like the bottom of the barrel men. Like, I can tell y'all some stories, but I ain't even gonna put that girl business out like that. Um, I definitely think it's destroying women and enabling men, and I definitely think that's why women hold women to like higher standards than they hold men to. Because even like you said, when it comes to single moms, they're judged tremendously. Like, you're judging, you have more smoke for the parent who stayed, but you don't have any for the parent who leave. But I definitely agree that this is tied to pick-meism, because you think you're gonna get picked, but like I keep saying, all pick-me's I know, the type of men they got, baby, I feel sorry for because this one girl, I ain't gonna tell her business like that, but I definitely agree with you. Male centered women do always lose because you trying to get attention from men and they're not the prize and never will be the prize.
all right, all right, all right. I got you. I got you. All right. So I'm gonna go next to Lovey, then Proud, and then T Scorpio. Oh wait, I'll go to Lovey, then Proud, then Patriarchy, and then T Scorpio. Go ahead, Lovey. Let me send your request to turn your mic on. You there, Lovey?
Hello?
Yeah,
Can you
yeah,
hear
yeah.
me?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
No, I was saying I'm a single father and I have empathy for your perspective. But I want you to have a little empathy for the scale, the big scale of what's going on. A lot of these fathers, because I work with the Department of Children and Family, I mentor a lot of fathers, and I see the gap between fathers and dads, meaning 90%, excuse me, there's data out that says 80% of the households today, is actually 79 point something, but 80% basically of households today are single women led. That says what? There are absence of fathers. If there's no father to set a template in the household, how to treat a queen, how even to be a man. You have 80% of these men that are misled, misguided with feminine ways because they're not knocking
Okay,
single moms.
lovey. Well, what does this have to do with the prompt, sir?
With what?
What does anything that you're saying have to do with the prompt and what we're discussing?
Because what you're discussing is the origin of the problem, is the male's absence.
No, we're not talking about the male's absence. And the male's absence is not on the woman. And I find
No,
that,
it's not on a woman.
yeah.
I never said that.
So since it's not on the woman, then why would you come into a place filled with women to talk about it? I think that you would be better served to go to a space with men and talk to them about that. Because why would you talk to women about something that they don't have anything to do with? That's not a logical thing to do, sir.
Well, because I want you to gain a better perspective on men. If you're
I
sitting
don't
here,
need to gain a better perspective on men. First of all, I've been married for 15 years. Okay. I got a best perspective that I could ever have on men. And I also been married before then as well. So I don't think that you're in a position. You just said you're a single father. So that means, all right, were you married to that lady?
yes, my kid's mom passed away, but that has nothing
Okay.
to do with what we
Okay.
talking
So
about.
I know. You see how it feels when somebody say something that don't got nothing to do with what you're talking about.
No,
You were saying something that don't have anything to do with what we talking about. So if you can't stay on topic, then I respectfully, you could just go ahead and go somewhere where you could talk to men about their absence and why they gone and why they don't value marriage and why they don't value partnership and why they want to just have sex with women and leave them and push them to the wayside. But this is not the place for that. Okay. So did you have
that's
anything
not
to
what I'm
talk about the
co-signing either,
topic?
though.
You got something to say about the topic about male-centered women or Cash Doll or AD from Love is Blind or Dana Dane talking about the T app for men when men don't need a T app? Did you want to talk about any of those things?
No, men don't need the tea. I just want you to open your mind up a little bit better when it
Okay, you
comes
have a
to
great day,
you and a
Lovey.
man.
And I hope that you can open your mind up well as well and stop saying fathers, fathers, fathers. I hope you can open your mind and get a dictionary and realize that the word is father. Okay, it's fathers. It's not fathers, 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 because that was very triggering for me. But I just let you know, I try my best to be professional with some of these knickknacks. Shout out to Supervillain, but my God, I already knew that it was gonna be. I already knew it was gonna be bad when he said he was a single father, single father, 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 father. Let me
Trigger,
stop
put
doing
me on
that.
a big screen. Trigger, put me on a big screen.
Oh, okay, hold on. Hold on, let me do it. No, T Scorpio. I know you lied to me. T
A lie.
T. That is not that man. T
This is the single father, and I don't
T.
That's a
appreciate. And
lie.
T.
Trigger,
That's
I don't
that's
appreciate
him.
you making fun of our New Yorkers accent. This is how we say father, okay?
Me, I can please, not me.
But look at this single father on the internet biting his lower lip, putting the two his two fingers up with his chest out. This is not a good example of a good father. This is not a good example of a father being a good role model. Oh, hold on. I didn't give you the best part. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh my
Hold on. There you have it. There you go.
Oh my gosh. He looked like he in a mental institution. Oh, them big windows back there. Oh my goodness.
I get a little excited. I ain't gonna lie.
Come on. We all know this is a felon. This is a felon. We all know.
Oh my goodness. T.
Cash App, ladies, listen. He's here to get his Cash App going because he's a single
Oh.
father. He need money. Come on, y'all. Come on, help out the single father from New York.
Girl, he looked like he would go through my pocketbook. And I said pocketbook like somebody grandma. He would go through my pocketbook while I was sleeping. Okay, and go take that money. Oh my goodness. You know what he looked like? He would sit on my couch and then dig in there and see if he could get the coins that was in the seat. You know what I'm saying? Like that just fell in there. He gonna just try to move it around and see if he can find like a quarter and some dimes in there. Only silver though, because he feel like he balling, so he don't want the pennies. He only want the silver.
Girl, and let me tell you something about New York. This is how you know this dude went from podcast listening to bull crap, and he have not went to family court and read the statistics. We all know majority of the men give custody to the woman. They give custody to the mother. And if 80, like I said before, and I say it again, 80% of single mothers is because you got men like that will live with you and not marry you. That's why they said it's single mothers, because a single mother, by definition, is an unmarried woman. But these men don't believe in getting married. They believe in shacking up. So with that being said, and he want to talk about he's not even a single father by getting full custody of his children because a mother is unfit. You got it by default because she done croaked on you. No disrespect, she done croaked on him. That's why.
You know what, T? I just wanted to say, you ladies in the comments, y'all nasty, and oh, I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all talking about. Y'all making me mad because I saw it, but I didn't want to speak on it because yes, I was reposted as well, and I would feel like that normally wouldn't be a normal, heterosexual reaction to be reposted when you see that. But yes, I was equally repulsed, and I was like, "What is this, huh?" But why are you feeling? Yes, it's very repulsed. I just wanted to say, I see y'all in the comments, and y'all should be ashamed of yourself. Y'all should. If I had like a little,
You know why he came here for? He came here for proud black woman. That's what he came here for.
Oh, not proud.
You want to get your cane, proud black woman?
Proud.
Let me shut up before she cursed my ass out.
Oh, yeah, she about to get you proud. You hear that? Oh, she might be at work though. She might not have heard it. You hear that, proud?
Y'all, why did y'all do me like that?
He said, let me come up here and see my beautiful queen right there. Let her know I'm a single father and I need a woman in my life to take care of these kids.
No, Lord, no, please, no. But I just want to say real quick. Trigger, you're so patient, but you don't play that either. So that's another thing I like about you. But I personally, I don't give these niggas no type of time in my life unless I know, because they do that. Like, black men are so used to black women massaging their ego, and the moment they open up their mouth and that gibberish start coming out, most black women start, it's almost like it's a command. So it's like, if y'all have ever noticed, most black women are quiet. They all of a sudden they're quiet, and the black man has the floor. And so this is why I say we have to stop that as black women. Like, I love how you check these dudes. They don't get no type of time on my live. Like, I'm not playing with y'all, because I already know when they come in there, the first thing they start doing, y'all, is quoting them damn statistics, which is hilarious to me, nigga. Y'all the main ones with the lowest education rate. Black men as a collective have the lowest education rate, but y'all be the main ones coming in our lives spewing out statistics that don't even make no sense. You never went to college. I don't know where you got that from. Just making up numbers. So it just pointing out sources that don't even make any sense. And I feel like, and I want black women, I guess the point, and I'm gonna land, is I want black women to continue to fight against that. Like, when these dudes come in our lives and start talking that shit, please continue to stand your ground, because they're not used to that. Remember, I told y'all back in 2008 when I was on Facebook, black women was like, black men was giving that heat to us. You understand me? Like, they was coming on there and talking about black women hair, your weave, and all this other kind of stuff. Now, this was 2008, and black women was, no, stop, please, we love you. We got to stop that shit. Like, all them years ago, 17 years ago, they're not used to that. They're so used to being able to open up their mouth, start talking, and then black women just all of a sudden start begging for their approval. And they don't get none with me. Black men gets none with me. I've learned that you have to stand on your ground with them. You have to. You cannot back down. You cannot be sympathetic. You cannot be empathetic with black men. You have to treat these dudes like they already, like every black man is guilty until he proves himself. So when they come into the lives and start talking all that gibberish, man, I'm checking these dudes 100%. Now, this ain't my live, but I'm just saying, if it was my live, he getting checked. But what I do like is triggered, you know, once they start talking gibberish, you get their ass up out of here real quick. And I really do like that, because they're not used to that. And you know, they're so used to us just believing everything they say. Black women, look, the cape is off. You understand me? Like, see it for what it is now. When they come in here, they're not coming in here to, most black men that come into our lives, y'all, they're not coming in here because they actually care. They're coming in here because they know they're losing control and they want to get some type of ego boost. Like what she said, he probably was coming in here for one of us. He want one of us to stroke his damn ego. That's all that is, y'all. So I will land there.
All right. Yeah, I appreciate you, Proud. Yeah, I just bring them up here for one, entertainment purposes, because you know it's always fun to you know, tear up these Negroes. And number two, I do believe, just like you believe, that like black women gotta push back and gotta do more and stop massaging black men's egos. And I do believe a lot of the men that come in that say certain things, the way they speak, I can tell that they're used to women lying to them, black women lying to them, black women, you know, telling them, yes, King, you're doing great. You are able to pay the light bill this month. Even though the rest of the bills totaled up to be $4,000 and I paid them, you paid the light bill for $178 or something. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that they need to hear more of, no, if you want somebody to tell you the truth about yourself, here's the truth. And you know, that's why I do it. I never do it because I care about their perspective or what they have to say. Very, very rarely do any of them even have any type of intellect for me to even think they had one iota of value to add to the conversation. I'll just say, you know, I just, like I said, I think it's good for them to get their, if they don't get checked by no black woman in their life, they'll get checked here. And I also think that if you want to come in a woman's space and you think you about to do something, no, you surprise, you about to get something done to you. So I just you know, I just think it's like, you know, just a kind of way, a minimum way of kind of like, you know, taking some type of power or energy back from men, seeing as though their whole existence is based on sucking the life and energy from women, you know. So that's the only reason why I do it. You know what I'm saying? I really don't care about these Negroes, truthfully speaking. But let me go down here to Zora, because I seen Zora. She was in there. Oh, and about Proud. Oh, before, hold on, Zora. Did you have something to say, sis?
Oh, no. I agree with everything you said. And and so it makes sense now, because I'm like, she is so patient with these dudes. But it's nice to hear you say you don't give a damn about these niggas. So
No, I do not. I said, but I probably used to say that a lot more before you started coming on. Girl, no, I don't care. I don't care.
wow.
And I let them speak only to give them enough rope to, I guess, hang themselves, so to speak. Hopefully I can say that on social media. That's the only reason why I even let them speak for the majority of the time. I would say out of all the men that I've spoken with on TikTok, 97% of them are stupid. I probably met a couple black men that came up here that I feel like were genuine, but I would say 97% of black men, when they come in this box, they on some BS. And no, I don't care what they have to say. I just like to let women hear, because I already know that the women enjoy me tearing them up. I learned that a long time ago, that the women really like that. So I just started keeping on doing it because women like to hear me do it. But no, I don't care what they got to say. I don't care. I don't even like men. Like I said, I don't even like men. I like one man, which is my husband. And he'd be like, you know, I told him one day, I was like, you know, I don't like men, right? He was like, yeah. He was like, but you like me, and that's all that matters. So I'm the only one that you have to like. That's fine. You know, I don't like men anyway. So so the cat's out of the bag. If anybody didn't know that, I don't like men. So I don't. So I can't speak for anybody else on the platform, but no, I don't like men. It's not that I don't like having my men, but I would say, generally speaking, when I'm out in the world, 99% of men that I see and I look at them, I'm disgusted by. So yeah. Anyway, so let me keep going though. This isn't about me and my dislike of men. I don't want to put that on y'all. Go ahead, Zora.
Please put it on
Hey,
me.
before you start,
Put it on me, baby.
this
You
is
hear
my
me?
friend Zora. Zora, this is not a misandry space. This is more of a black women empowerment space. I know we usually bump heads with
Yeah,
the
yeah,
same,
because
but
I'm not saying to hate men like at all. Because I know there are women. I know Proud said that she loves the energy of a man, and I'm not saying having a man around, when he's cool is not a good thing to have. But for the majority of these Negroes, no, I don't like them, and that applies to any race too. It's not just black men; it's all of them. But go ahead, Zora. Go ahead.
Yo, y'all tickling me. What's up, super proud? Hey, Trigger. Hey, everybody on the panel. Yeah, no, you can speak for me to be honest. Like, go ahead. Same. It's given same. And I do like. There's two processes when I've held spaces for Black women. It's one is where we're building or undoing, and it's two where we beating up on these men. And it need both are needed to me. You don't have to do both, but one, not only do we enjoy it, but it's also deprogramming, right? Because it's like they get to just talk without getting checked, and it irritates me because when they get to me, they're dumbfounded. Somebody didn't do their job. Sorry, I'm gonna keep it cute. They didn't get. I feel the same way about white tea person. If they around BLK person, they get to me and they're dumbfounded. You didn't. What are you doing? What are you doing over there? So both are because BLK women sometimes need to hear and then insert where the BS, and they need to be treated. They need to know they're not important. So I love the mid sentence when you be kicking them off. It's one of my favorite things. It's like brushing my teeth or drinking some coffee, and I don't even drink coffee. So I wanted to say that piece. I wanted to start with Dana Dane for as far as the prompt. Like I don't know what she said about the Mel T app, but I know that I don't know if y'all
She was
recall.
just saying that she was happy that it was there, and that she was talking about women vaginas, talking about if you sleep with a lot of men, you gonna be on there, and that's why you not supposed to be. Just policing women. I can't stand her. Go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, you started to sound when you said police, and I was like, ew. She's okay. Let me center. She takes me because it's that mother wound for me. But anyway, she spoke about, and I cannot remember her name right now for some reason. It's the woman who was unalived by the police right as the presidency took place. Y'all remember they
Corn
came
Gaines.
into
Corn Gaines. You talking about Corn Gaines, the light skinned
no, she was
sister,
the presidency when that man took office. It was almost like the
Sandra
same.
Bland?
Not her either. Was it Sonya? What is her name? She literally had a mental health issue, and she was
Oh yeah, I think that's Sonia
Sandra
Massey.
Massey.
oh yeah, Massey. Yep.
She does say herself. And when she went live, it was men checking her. That's how far out she was. She was talking about how that lady unalived herself and she should have did this and that. And we need to see the whole video. And that's when I knew she was, I mean, I already knew, but she was way out there. And it was men who just like, when BLK men are like, maybe too much, you far out. So that really kind of, and she stood her ground because she's like, it's giving in a narc a little bit because she was just like, no, she could have made a different choice. What are you talking about, bitch? Like craziness. So there's that. I want to point out that man who came up here, the single father was sorry New Yorkers, but y'all check them because that was giving fake. I was like, is he even from there? But he had a Cash App twice in his bio. So he's not only looking to maybe speak to one of us, or well, I'm just gonna put on Proud Black because he can't be trying to speak to me because what done up. He also is asking for money for being a single dad, and he don't. I'm hoping he don't have no daughters. Cause that man, y'all showed him T Scorpio. You didn't even prepare us. We didn't get no trigger warning or nothing. We just in the dungeon with you in Hades.
I had to. I couldn't help it.
It is twice. He got sons. Okay, let me calm down. All right, so let me go through the prompt. Male-centered women will always lose. They are, but you know the point I'm at now, y'all. Triggered. I'm at the point that women who don't, I don't want to say check, but who don't have any boundaries around male-centered women will also lose. So there's that. Cash Doll has been a pick me. I'm sorry. I know you were being really careful. And I'm not just saying that because of the recent thing, but you remember she was saying colorism doesn't exist and she was kind of, she was like, oops, sorry, I have to take that back. Like that to me, she was bragging about how she's in studios with BOK men.
and they don't treat her badly. I'm like, you a lie. AD from Love is Blind. I don't know what the recent thing is happening, but I couldn't get over the initial part. Like, you see, I'm emotionally tied to some of these. Like, I just remember, like, how are you sitting down with with his baby mama, and y'all are, what is going on? Where's the self esteem? How did he say he don't like how you look, but he just like you from behind? You still walking down to put that ring on there on TV? That's crazy. Um, it's all connected. I love number 4 because I think that's what people don't get. They don't get the connection. Like, you don't get that these men are coming over here getting surprised when they in the hallway, or surprised when they up on the screen, or surprised when they getting checked because the the community shape is to make space for their nonsense. That's all. I'm on mute. Thank you for having me up.
No problem, no problem. Zora, I appreciate you. Well, I think let me go to T. I'll go to T next, and then I'll start back from the top to the bottom.
Came here just to cause chaos and destruction, as usual, as per usual. I only came up here when, as soon as, every time when I see a dude up here, I go, I know what I got to do. Let me go check this dude out. Oh man, I was like, wait until my girls get a kick of this. Like I said, like we've been always said, back to the prompt, male-centered women will always lose, always, and it's like what Proud Black women had pointed out. I think it was Proud or Trigger that said that these dudes are so used to getting an ego stroke, so used of being told that you're smart, you're this and that. They think they can walk up at any type of woman's space. They think they're gonna get that same type of energy. Nah, you're not gonna get that same energy because you actually talking to women with head on their shoulders, and you can see the reaction of these men. They either run, crash out, or one of the two. They either run or crash out, one of the two. Especially married men. I don't know how many times I gotta keep pointing out, yo, this man is married. Why are you here? You're so happily married, but you're too comfortable in a space full of women with supposedly single women all up in our face giving us dating advice. Why are you giving us dating advice? That's what your wife should do. If your wife is so happily married, oh, look at this. Look at the man I got here throwing a tantrum. Hold on.
No problem, no problem. I definitely agree with her. I don't understand why men want to come in women's spaces and then try to advise them of anything as if anyone is going to be, and this is my thing. This is why I really feel like Black men don't live in any type of land of reality, is because in what world do Black men feel like they are in a position to give advice to anyone? You are the least employed, the least educated, the least married. What exactly the most violent towards your women out of all races of men here in the United States? So exactly what information could you impart to a Black woman about how to live her life? What exactly would she be open to receiving from you? I mean, if this is just logically speaking, like if you have a person that is broke, them, they're always broke. They don't ever have no money. They're always asking you for $5 or $10 or $20 or whatever. And they try to tell you, hey, I got some financial advice for you. I know where you can invest your 401k, or you can do this. You're not going to listen to them. You're going to say, hey, get away from me. You're always broke. Why would I listen to you about how to get money? This is the same thing with Black men. Why would anybody listen to you about anything? Look at your position in the world. Look at how you treat the women that are in your community. Look at how you treat your children. Look at how you treat relationships. In what world would I want to take advice from you? And if you feel like you have all this information to impart, why aren't you there imparting the information where it needs to go, which is to other men? Because men don't listen to other women. They listen to other men. Just like there was some guy in the comments earlier, y'all, that was talking about, well, are men supposed to be male-centered? Men are already male-centered. Men are already male-centered, which is the reason why you hear all that stuff, bros before hoes, and we don't love them and all of this other stuff, is because men put men above everybody else. They don't put men that really worship women and love women are not respected amongst men. Look at Russell Wilson. He married Tiara, a woman that was already rich on her own, already famous on her own, already bad, you know what I'm saying, beautiful body, beautiful face, had a son by somebody else, and all he did was go and be with her. You know what I'm saying? And treat her with respect. Men calling him, yo, he a simp, he a punk. Oh, I couldn't be friends with him. You got Charlemagne and other men talking about, I wouldn't even be cool with that man. He ain't somebody I want to hang out with. All because he's respecting and loving a woman. So we already know that men don't value men that value other women. So exactly why are you here? Why are you talking to us? Like, and they are so upset when women choose to click up or link up and be empowered. Always so scared and always feel some type of way about that, even though they do the same thing. And I think it's because they are so used to men being male-centered and women being male-centered too, that they don't know what it is like to not be centered, which is why the most of the time when these black men come up here, they start talking about themselves. Oh, I'm a single father. Who cares if you're a single father? Oh, well, I want to tell you about my experience. Who cares? We're not talking about that. The topic is cash doll, Negro. Why, we don't want to hear nothing you talking
I'm
about.
back real quick.
Okay, go ahead. Let me
No,
receive
it's
the
good. I
time.
was just going to point out, it's funny how these men with full confidence can walk up in the room and say how he's a single parent. But Lord, if a woman was to walk up in a space full of men and say, I'm a single mother, everybody would drag her from the rooter to the tutor, saying how she should have chose better. Do you let that father see his kids? Do you do that? Do you do that? Put her through the ringer. Soon as she says she's a single mother, but these men can always say they a single father and gain all the sympathy from women. That's the problem right there. And I'm sorry if they want to shape. And it's funny how under the same breath, he brung up how majority in a black household was run by single mothers. But dude, you are a single father, so you don't have no sympathy what it's like to take care of children on your own. So what is the whole point of you even mentioning that the black household is run by single mother households? And furthermore, I don't mean to sound funny. He seemed like he's a felon. And what's your excuse for going to jail? I'll be flipping accountability right back on them. I'll be like, well, you a felon? You went to jail? Why you went to jail? Whose fault was that? You can't blame your mommy for you going to jail. You the one who did the crime. You know, you don't want no one to judge you based off you being a whole felon, but y'all will open up your mouths to a single mother that had no choice in the matter of whether this man gonna stay or leave. You know, and like I pointed out before, a lot of these dudes are in the household, you know, and that's mainly what I wanted to point out, where I found funny how these dudes can be a so-called single father, but they can walk around and make that their whole personality, make that their identity, put that on their profile and say Cash App single father, I'm a single father, Cash App. And no one bashes them, no one say anything. But if that was a black woman at that saying she's a single mother, nobody would give her no empathy, no grace. You saw the other day, the other pick me was talking about getting food stamps. She's a single mother. Yeah, she's going to get food stamps. She's by herself. She's going to need all the resources in the world. Of course, them kids got to eat. But nobody will say anything if a dude used those same resources being a single father. That's crazy to me. Like, you see, like, that's why I was saying, like, nah, bring back shame. If these dudes want to shame women being single mothers, no, I would definitely shame a single father. Absolutely. I'd be like, well, you should have chose better. Why are you a single father? Are you even taking care of the kids? Oh, if she's not paying child support, oh, well, you probably ran her off. I'll be saying all kinds of things. These dudes be getting no type of empathy from me. If they think they're going to come my way talking about how I'm doing this on my own. Oh, well, do harder. I don't see you out here robbing a bank to feed them. It look like you ain't struggling enough to me, in my opinion. but that's me mainly talking crap. But that's the problem with these men. They're so used to being coddled, so used to being their ego being protected, that they really feel like even being at the bottom of the barrel, being a felon with no teeth, struggling, ain't got no place to live, still feel like he has the balls to walk up in a place full of women and talk down. Like, sir, you have some nerve. I'll land right there.
Alrighty, alrighty. I appreciate you, T. All right, let me go start back up here at the top with Gabrielle.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I just think the two guys who came up in this live and the way they were talking, the way that one of them seemed to be borderline illiterate by the way he was pronouncing the word fathers, to me, that is a prime example of why being male centered in 2025 is ridiculous. Like, there's nothing of value that any woman is going to get from being male centered for, throwing other women under the bus to appeal to these guys. I mean, there's nothing there. I mean, sure, they might get like, I don't know, like the clicks and views and like, guys in the comment section saying, oh yeah, protect this one, blah, blah, blah. But the second that woman who's done all that pandering, if she says one thing that they don't like, or if there's, one situation where like a guy genuinely, harms or hurts her in some way, none of those guys that she's been pandering to and uplifting over other women are going to be there by her side. I've seen this online. Like, I've seen so many cases of women who throw other women under the bus. They pander to, males, and then the guys that they are pandering to inevitably turn on them. And then they want to come running back to other women. It's like, I don't think they should be able to do that. Like, I think if you as a woman, if you are a pick-me, you need to be a pick-me all the way. And you need to stick with those guys who are, the guys that you think are so great and, you think are so above other women. Like, at this point, I just don't have any sympathy for them. I don't think that, they should be able to run back to other women when it backfires. There have been so many cases of this, and I'm just going to use feminism as an example, but there are some women online who will make their entire personalities being anti-feminist, saying that women aren't good women anymore, blah, blah, blah. And they'll pander to men. The men will say, oh, protect this one. You're so much better, blah, blah, blah. It goes to their heads. And then at some point, because there's always at some point going to be a case where these guys turn on the women who are pandering to them. Like, all of these males who pick me and male centered women are pandering to, they do not respect women. Like, even the women who pander to them, they don't respect them. They see them as like a resource or an object or a tool, but they don't respect that woman's humanity. And so it's always going to backfire, which goes back to the prompt, which is why they're always going to lose. But at this point, I genuinely do not think pick-me's and male-centered women are reachable. I think they're going to have to learn the hard way. And I do think that, I don't think they should just be welcomed back to other women, when it backfires on them. I know that might sound harsh, but I mean, I've just seen this happen so many times. It's just like, even just the two guys who came in this life, like, that is the caliber of males that these male-centered women and pick-me's are defending, and they're never going to get the same support in return. So I'll land there.
Alrighty. I appreciate you, Gabrielle, and I definitely agree with you. Let me go over here to Chilotam.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I don't understand the thought process behind shaming the parent that stays and then having no smoke for the parent who's absent, because there's a trend I've actually noticed where men will tell you that they grew up in quote unquote single mother households and then grow up to hate said single mothers or even hate their moms when your mom was the one who broke her back to get you to where you are today, and your dad your dad is nowhere to be found, but somehow you have more smoke for your mom than for it doesn't make any sense to me. And I feel like I don't even like to use the term single mother households, and this is very dear to me because my sister had a child when she was 23. I was 13 at the time, and I think the child's like, she should be 12 or 13 right now. We have not seen this man. I don't even know what he looks like in person, and I know how much scrutiny my sister went through, especially, back home, people are more hard on women. And we haven't seen this man for 1 second of our lives, but nobody has that smoke for him, So this really hits close to home. And for every quote unquote single mother that exists, there is an absent or irresponsible father who is responsible for that single mother household. Because if you even think about it, a woman can only get pregnant one time in a year, but as a man, you can impregnate 10 women in a week. So who should be held? And I'm not saying this to like absolve women of any responsibility when it comes to um intercourse and all that stuff. But if we're actually being 100% about it, who should be the ones getting more smoke? So that just really pissed me off, and I'm consciously trying not to use the term single mother, like especially not in a shameful way, because I think that for the most part the men are the ones who are irresponsible. Yeah. And also maybe towards the end of the live, I had a question to ask, but it's not related to what we're talking about, so I don't want to derail the topic, but I want to ask it towards the end, if that's okay with you. Thanks.
Okie dokie. All right, I appreciate you, Tillo Tam. All right, let me go to Supervillain. Go ahead, sis.
Yes, and just once again, thank you, Trig, for just making this space where we can just be ourselves and talk about the topics unapologetically, not have to worry about respectability, politics, or being politically correct. Y'all, I always implore y'all, tap the screen. Please save this space. This is the one place where we can talk and be us. Please do the free thing and at least get the likes up. Trig deserves way more than this. This is some hard work. Let's show her a little bit of appreciation. I'm gonna say this into the topic because it was about centered women and pick me women. Like I said before, one of the ways that we can solve this issue is by starting with our little girls. We have to be the one they seek validation from, not these males, not these men. We need to tell little girls that they're pretty and that they're smart. We need to be and set the expectations for what girls want to be. Because when we tell a little girl that she's pretty, we definitely mean it in a doll like manner, not these males who look at little girls for desirability politics. That's one of the ways we can stop the male validation yearning by being the people that girls want to be validated by. That by being the people that women want to be validated by, because we want women's own self-interest at heart. We have to recognize that. And I, again, implore Black women, because I love y'all, do the homework. Think about the safest time in your childhood and build from there. We have to parent ourselves. We have to pick up the slack. Like I said before, our mothers did their very best, and sometimes their very best just wasn't enough. We got to pick up the slack. Parent that little Black girl inside you, because she also deserves to be happy. It doesn't matter if you're 15, 45, 65. That little Black girl is still in you. Parent her and show her love. This is one of the most crucial and important things we can do for ourselves, and this is another great step to stop the male validation by validating ourselves and validating the little girls that come behind us. I also have a question at the end, if there's time, Trig. It doesn't have to be answered. I just wanted to state something. Thank you. I yield there.
Alrighty. I appreciate you, Supervillain. All right, let me go down here to Zora and then T Scorpio. Go ahead, Zora.
I do agree with I agree with the validating girls, but it's also like decentering, because I've been in positions with nieces and stuff where my validation is very strong. It's very, some of it is even spoken. It's what you were talking about, allowing them to explore different things, and they're still in a world, especially when it's their peer group or whatever, as BOK girls, where they're being told that the more rare form of validation from a male is still important. So we have to decenter that too as we do it. And I loved your suggestion about centering yourself as a Black girl, because a lot of BOK women and mothers don't do that, so they don't know how to do it for their daughters. I wanted to point out too that first of all, the man who came, I'm mad at the Cash App, to be honest. Like, outside of got milk, titties or whatever you say, whatever the TikTok friendly language is, and the GANG symbolism and all that stuff he had going on. When men, because I'm not even sure if he is a single father, because it's like none of these pictures are giving that. If anybody with me, like none of the pictures that Scorpio showed us gave a single father, not responsible. And then the other piece is that when they are, when BOK men in particular, but all of them have their children, it's generally women who are still doing the work. So they irritate me because it's literally if it's not the grandmother who has the kids most of the time, he got some woman he's attached to that he's selling that D print to that's doing the work. Like they're not that man is not in there in the kitchen cooking. He wouldn't have time over here talking to us. He's not making sure they have the best education and is at all the school meet. Like it's just they're liars. One, two. We already know they're even centered when they have the children that the women community shows up more for them than they do for even women. So I don't appreciate the Cash App, to be honest. Like, I don't know if it's the Capricorn in me, but the Cash App is so tacky. Like, it's so effing tacky that it just bothers me. And he thought he was going to come and get some, you know what I'm saying, enablement from over here. And then the connected to destroying women part is yeah, I'm just gonna reiterate. Not only a male-centered women will always lose, they're dangerous too. The malignant ones, particularly so. Thank you, Trick.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Zora, and I definitely agree. You guys, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna end the live, but I'm gonna let everybody speak again. I know Chilotam and Supervillain, both of y'all had questions to ask, so I guess I'll let y'all go first, and then I'll go to Zora, and then I'll let Gabrielle finish it out. Chilotam, I guess I'll go to you first. You had a question, you said?
Yes, I have a question. Okay, so I'm working and I said like this is very different from what we've been talking about for the past couple hours. But I'm working a job, right? Like I have this internship. I just graduated from my master's degree in May, and they want me to do a presentation on Thursday. And initially, when I accepted the job, they told me that they would extend the internship into a full-time position, but then they changed their minds. And you know how corporate America is. I don't want to, be that person or be problematic. And I was wondering, do you think, and not just you, Trig, like anyone else, if anyone has advice from me, do you think I should go all out in the presentation, like actually, because I don't know how to say it. The presentation is like the internship experience, and then you also have to give some background about yourself. And I do have at least 5 years of professional experience, so I don't know if I should detail all of that, because I don't want to come off as obnoxious or like saying like I know more than I have learned from here. But at the same time, I'm not sure if that's me shrinking myself, if you know what I mean. So I don't know what to do in this case. Like I want to talk about, everything that has led me up, especially my professional career, led me up to where I've gotten today. But at the same time, I don't want to be like a show off. Does that make sense? I don't know if my question makes sense, but I need advice on what to do about that.
Here a solution. I will always say, do your best to never shrink yourself. However, are you going to further inquire about the position, being that your internship is over?
Well,
Is
they
that like
told me.
something set in stone, or is it after your presentation it's going to be
Oh no,
okay?
they already told me 2 weeks ago that they weren't going to extend it. And I was really, really sad because I really don't want to go back to the job market. But I have a few leads here and there. So I'm trying to stay positive that I'm going to get something better. So I'm leaving, like my last day is on August 27th. So I don't know if I detail how quote unquote good I am, I don't know if that's going to leave a bad taste in people's mouths or something. I don't know how it works here. Does that make sense? So
I'm gonna say never shrink yourself. Always do your best. That project can also be used. You never know in another opportunity. So I'm gonna always say it's great to do your best. First of all, I want to say congratulations for reaching a goal. It's their loss, but I'm gonna always tell you to do your best. I'm never gonna say shrink. I don't ever think shrinking yourself is going to ever be the answer. And if it comes off as obnoxious, they didn't want you there in the first place. So what's the big deal, right?
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Just to go off of what Supervillain said, I'm just gonna say it. Go all out, do your best, because
even if you think like you're doing too much, they're still gonna minimize you, especially in the corporate sector. Like, they're still, like, you being a Black woman, they're still gonna find some fault and try to minimize you no matter how well you do. And they're still gonna pick like some stupid country bumpkin simply because he's a man or white over you, even if he doesn't have half the education that you do. I see it all the time. So please just get over your imposter syndrome and do whatever you can so they cannot say no to you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your advice. Thank you.
All right, all right, all right. I'm glad that you got some information. It's been so long since I worked in a corporate space, Chillo Tam. That's why I didn't really give too much advice. I'd rather have other Black women that may be able to have more of an insight to it to let you know. I'm gonna go here to go down to King, go get it, and then I think Gabrielle and Zora to wrap it up so we can
I
end
just
it.
ask my question.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Oh yeah, sorry, super villain. Go ahead,
it's
sis.
okay. So my two questions were, it was actually an idea for you. I don't know if you heard about that black men in a red dress march. If you saw the post about it or the content about it, if you get a chance, look up black men in red dress
Super
march.
villain. I saw the
I,
pictures. Are those G men?
all I'm gonna say is this: they looked very happy, and there
What?
were a lot of them. So I don't know if you want to discuss that in your next topic. I wanted to bring that up. I
They
also
looked very, very, very sus to me. And to each his own, you do what you want. I'm not saying anything about that. But I will say that they looked very G to me. And I believe that's probably something they always wanted to do. Cause
triggered. Oh
yeah.
my gosh, that's what I said. They look so happy and peaceful. And listen, I know they think there's an agenda going around, but let me tell you something. If that's what it takes so that black women aren't getting their heads knocked off their bodies every 4 to 5 unemployed business hours anymore, for these men to just come out and be who they are, I prefer them to be happy and who they want to be. They looked so happy and so at peace. I'd never seen so many black men and felt peace before in my life than when I seen those contents. But also to also bring up, I don't know if you heard about the 7 foot alien thing that they said looked like black people. If you got to see that content as well.
Yes.
So I also said that might be the answer. Listen, if they black men from out of this world, 7 feet. Listen, a sister might change her mind because they ain't from Hong That was it.
Stop playing, super villain. Oh my goodness. Go ahead, Zora.
Warrior, send them ninjas back. What is going on? If isn't, we do not want interspecies ninjas. Well, let me speak for myself. So
Listen, it came at the right time. Half the men
I
here
get
are
you.
being free and who they are, and they bringing a new set of men out here. So I just think the timing was perfect.
I think they always trying to mess about stuff. That's how I feel about ninjas. I really think they always trying to mess it up. Now we get to talk to intergalactics and it's y'all can't even read. I don't know what's going on. Um, I wouldn't say Chilo's on T app. Yeah, okay, you're back. I would say maybe even tie your internship, like what you learned there, and then broaden it to your credentials, if you get what I mean. But yeah, I'm glad you're expressing yourself because F them, to be honest. I don't have much. Just glad to be here. These ninjas is out of their mind. Super villain gonna have to deal with the 7 foot ones who talking whatever the aliens say, and y'all be mindful of male-centered women because they'll try to make you lose too.
All right, all right. Sorry, I had to unmute myself. All right, all right. I appreciate you, Zora. I think that was every anti silver. Did you have anything to say? And then I'll let Gabrielle close it out.
No, I said what I had to say. Thank you so much. It was just about Chillatam's imposter syndrome. Thank you.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I got you. I got you. All right. Well, then let me go to Gabrielle.
Yeah, thanks, Triggered. As far as Tam goes, I mean, my personal view is like definitely advocate for yourself. I know that like I don't have any experience in corporate. I do freelance writing, so I'm not familiar with the corporate world. But I will say I do think like if you feel so inclined to, like if you feel like there's an issue, I'd say definitely advocate for yourself because in my opinion, like there are many men who are like underqualified for positions who don't hesitate to go for, you know, advancements in their careers in whatever, job or industry they're in. So I would say definitely go like speak up for yourself if you can. I mean, obviously trust your gut. Like if you don't feel that, a certain setting or situation is, the right time to do it, then obviously don't do it. But I would definitely say to, speak up if you can and advocate for yourself. As far as like the prompt goes, I mean, I think this live was so great. And I do think that in the future, there are unfortunately going to be more cases like, uh, is that AD? Yeah, AD from Love is Blind and then the cashed out breakup. Because I just think, I know Triggered, you said you think it's about 50-50, but I do think there are so many women who are male centered. And I think the only way a lot of them are going to wake up from that is like having to learn the hard way with some guy. I mean, we're seeing more and more of it. And just given the direction that a lot of men are going with their attitudes towards women, I don't see, any improvements coming collectively, unfortunately. But those are just my thoughts on it. And I do hope everything goes well with your job, Chilatam.
So much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
All right. I'm glad that Chilotam, you could get maybe a little bit of clarity on that. But I can't speak on everything, but I do think that you should do what you want to do. And I don't think you should ever dim your light for anybody because being a Black woman, people are already going to try to do it, But anyway, with that being said, you guys, I don't have anything else to say too much outside of all of this. I actually I'm on my cycle right now, and actually I got a splitting headache, and it's like starting to bang in my head like an ice pick. If y'all want me to be transparent, which is the reason why I'm about to end the live, I'm about to take me some pills and try to lay my butt down. Yeah. I appreciate all of you ladies for coming up here today and expressing yourselves. I had a great time today. I appreciate all of y'all. I'm glad we got a chance to poke fun at these dudes and just express information and everything today. And I definitely come back maybe tomorrow, with something else. Later today if my head stops hurting. But if not, then it'll be like the next day. I don't know. For some reason, every time I get on my cycle, I get a headache. Like it always happens like clockwork. But anyway, I'll see you guys later. I love y'all. And if you haven't heard it today, I just want you to know if you're a Black woman and you're listening to this, you are awesome, amazing, special, and valuable. And I hope you have a great, productive week. All right. I'll see y'all later. And thank y'all so much for y'all well wishes. Thank y'all. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.